Okay, can you see? I have stitched to here, switching colors. Okay, but I don't want to keep going because I want to get this ready. Like I said, it's imperative that you're kind of ready ahead. So I want to tuck, and this is that spot that I needed to tuck over some of my, that I'd stitched in this particular bunny. Some bunnies you don't, this bunny I needed to. So I need to tuck this over like that. And actually, I'm going to use my paper clip to kind of secure that. And I think I want to get my off-white and tack the bottom of this. All right. So I've kind of tucked all of this. I need to tuck, I think it's good to tuck the bottom first. And then get this there where I want it. Okay? I should have done this part first. But this project is way easier. Well, I'm just going to try it again. If you plan ahead, including knotting your thread before you need to. All right, so if you're in my eyeball, let's try this again. So I've snipped around. Probably it needs to snip here too. Am I on camera? And I snipped way too close. But I'm gonna go down first, over, and then try and lay that baby down where it goes. And right now, all I'm gonna worry about is this point. Helps if I don't get other thread that I have laying around. I have a pile of thread I'm trading out. So I'm just going to tack the point. Okay, and then coming this way, use my needle if I need to. Get that all in where it needs to be. Okay. So same thing, I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to do a couple tacks down there and then go in between that wool back over to this side. Now I don't want to tack this until I go forward a little bit. So snip, 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 fold that over, fold that in, fold all these in. I'm kind of just rolling. Okay. I'll come up, wrap that, and wrap that. All right, so now that paw is tacked. I don't think I'm going to stitch the whole thing because I want some wiggle room to get this where it needs to be. So I think we're just going to tack it. Tie off the white for right now. I think, what happened to my needle? think this isn't serving any purpose at the moment. Okay, now going back to where we were, I can get this rolled better. Now that I don't have to deal with this, now I can tuck this and I don't have to also hold on to here. So now I can kind of squeeze that back together a tad bit so it's a little tighter. I can get all that secure there. Okay, so now I can come back up now to this and roll it. Oh, and we already see now, and this is good because we already have the white. I had the white. I have the white. So I think I'm going to do white first, since I have the off-white. Okay. So use my finger to help it along. It would help if I actually had it locked into place. Roll that white in. Right there, I need to roll those in. And before I let go of that baby, I'm going to tack it into place. And I'm going to come up a little bit and tack that into place. And then come up a little bit. Tack that into place. And come up a little bit. And tack that into place. Okay. Now we can make it pretty. So I need to come back with that darker color. And then come back again with my black, because I shouldn't have done the nose until I had done this, but I kind of forgot about that. All right, so I'll see you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this down to here, and then I will check back in with you. All right, so I am back now. Another day, wearing a different t-shirt. I have stitched around here. If you remember, this was jutting out. The white of the muzzle was jutting out. So I stitched that, but then I thought I should show you how I did it. So see how the brown, remember the brown, we didn't need this much brown stitches on this one. So we need to tuck that in and you can kind of tuck the normal way, but after a while, there's only so much you can do. So here's a trick. So I brought my thread to the front, and instead of going around like we've been doing and then putting our needle straight through, I actually go around and then go underneath the felt. So I'm going to go underneath the felt to where I want it to come out. And then give a little gentle nudge before I come back around. And what that's doing is it's helping that stitches and the felt to come together. So I'm going underneath the felt to where I want it, and then giving a little extra pull. So basically you're going backwards. So I'm wrapping the other direction. But doing each one kind of separately before I pull. So see, I stitched over and I came out on the actual, I'm coming up on the cross stitch, and then I'm putting my needle under and then bringing it where I want it. And then by giving a little tug, I can pull that all in a little bit. So wrap around to the front, go into under the felt, and then go under the felt to where I want to be, and then kind of pull up and help that get kind of into place. And at this point, you're either understand me or you're saying, what the heck? So I come through into that part of the brown. I don't know why my camera is wanting to focus so close right now. No, that's too close. Because I want to be like here. Okay, is that better? So I've come through from the front to just, I'm in the brown. I'm not into the green. And then I'm going to go under the felt. And then I'm going to pull up and kind of help all that brown get tucked in. And I don't know if I saw this somewhere or just kind of figured it out. So then go here and then use it and kind of give a good tug to get all that tucked in. So wrap around to the front. Now remember to keep moving ahead too. That, you know, it's easy to kind of just stay in one place. And then go up into the felt. And then use that to help pull everything together. Might be pulling a tad bit too hard, which is a concern. Don't pull as hard as I was because I'm starting to pucker. Wrap to the front. Go just at the edge of the felt. And then go underneath the felt. Give a little extra tug. Wrap to the front. I really need to move ahead because I am not moving ahead. Go through the kind of folded brown and then go into the felt. Why won't it focus down? Focus here. Right there. That's where I want you to be focused. And then see when I pull, can you see what happens? Let me get closer. When I pull, it kind of just helps everything kind of tuck in. Wrap to the front. Go into here. And then go underneath to the felt. And give a little pull. You do need to make sure that you go deep down enough into the felt because you don't want to rip a chunk of felt off. So see how, but it's tucking it in better. See how it's tucking it in? So wrap around, go through just above where the felt starts, and then underneath the felt to kind of bring that all up together. Wrap around, go through just into the bump of brown, and then go underneath the felt and then pull up. Wrap around, go just into the blue, and then go underneath the felt the distance that the stitch should be, and then use your thread to kind of pull up and pull that together. Wrap around and then go under the distance you want. That thread got off where I want it to be. Move my camera. It's not in my eyeball, so I know it's not exactly where it needs to be. And then pull up. So in essence, you're doing it in two separate stitches. You're kind of stitching the front and then stitching the back in essence. So go through and then kind of have the thread help pull that all together. And then go through and then underneath, pull up. And then by this time we're pretty much back to where it's not bulging anymore. So that's how I'm going to finish off straight through with the brown. And then up we have okay. So see, it's a little bulgy still but you can help. I'm kind of using my, okay. So see, it's still a little bulgy. Oh my gosh. But you can we're going to pull all that extra this direction. It's still a little bulgy, but we're going to pull all that extra this direction. So, all right, so tie it off. And my scissors. I can't get my angle right on this whole thing. Okay, tie it off. All right. So it does get a little bulgy. See how right here now that extra is kind of poofy right there? So we'll want to see how when I use my hand, it kind of does better. So it's totally okay. We need the other color. To kind of help it lie flat. If I can get my thread. Okay, so it's all right to help it flatten by adding a couple more tack down stitches too. So I'm just I'm putting my finger underneath and I'm just kind of pulling because I don't want it to get bulgy there. So I'm going to tack it like right here. And then maybe run down and tack it here. I'm still a good distance away from that edge because I want to make sure I have enough there. So that just kind of helps. Actually, maybe tack one over here too. don't know how in the world I got. I'll deal with that. All right, so that's done. Okay, now it's in my eyeball, so maybe now it's in the right position. Okay, so now it's also totally okay to have your cookie cutter nearby and just kind of verify things are looking pretty good. I do Velcro, you know, in spots to help it. Okay, so now we're going to do the white, the off-white of the paw that we tacked down previously. I've been listening to too much Instagram. Is it Beyonce who was that? We're not in Texas, or we ain't in Texas, or whatever that Instagram song is that everybody's doing little quirky dance moves to. I don't even know the words, so it's just like in my head, which kind of drives me crazy. Okay, so was it we're ain't in Texas? I'm not in Texas. I don't know. All right, so this is stayed nice because we tacked it down. That's why tacking down is a good thing. And again, like I'm sure there's people who are like watching this thinking, there is no way in earth I am doing that. And maybe there's people who are saying, she never thought to da with a cookie cutter. And I am open to that. Like if someone else, you know, kindly can be like, actually, this would be a lot easier if you did it this way. That is totally fine with me. If I stay right here, you can see, and I can see, I think. So I'm just using this, my thread, to lay down any little threadies, you know, that are sticking up. You know, that's just kind of the name of the game. And holding on to this paw is really fun. It's fiddly. You know, like I said, if you need to kind of, you know, go around, hit different places. However, and the head's getting in the way. Totally fine. God, the birds are going to town right now. And you can come back and redo the black of the paws, you know, and then we'll do that here in a second. So again, when you have a tip like this, just kind of trade off side to side. You're kind of going through the same hole over and over again. The same hole-ish. Oh, I need my thimble. That would be helpful. Okay, much better. You know, and just keep trading back and forth until it's as neat as you want it. I think I hear, it must be March. I think I hear, nope, I thought it was a motorcycle. It's just a old truck with a bad muffler. And I guess it's not quite March, is it? We have a couple more days. March is what, Friday? Okay, just going back and forth in this difficult point. Okay. And then once you got that point, then you can move ahead. The back end of the bunny is going to be, see how you have that weird thing right there? That just means I just have to go back and not lose my thread. And give one more little rap-de-doo, one or two more little rap-de-doos right there. And you might be thinking, well, that doesn't look very neat. But reality is when it's in the cookie cutter, this part that we're so focusing on right now will hardly be seen because it's butted up against the edge of the cookie cutter. I think I'm going to change out my thread. One moment. This ain't Texas, that's it. What's the point of that song? Because I've seen like, a ballet company do it and very non-Texy dancers do it. And I'm like, do they think we thought that? I don't know. It's a catchy tune. Okay, so, I mean, you don't think it looks very, you can't even see what I'm saying. So you don't think it looks very neat in the middle of it, but when you put it in the cookie cutter, it's a very neat finish. It does work. It just in the moment you think this is not working. Okay. Of course, just need a couple stitches, just a couple more stitches, then we're done with the cream. Okay, you can see Oh my goodness, the dog hair. Okay, so this is kind of the spot where it kind of goes to green grass. So this will be my last white. Okay, the dog must have slept on top of this last night because now I have all this dog hair. And wool, felt wool, and dog hair do not mix. I don't know if you can hear her, she's snoozing at my feet. All right, so we're going to trade that out for green. And this is pretty easy here. I think I will just catch up with you when I get here, unless I think something's happening that you should, well, before we do that. Okay, so we need to cut it. We need to work ahead. So we're going to fold over, kind of roll over the rest of the leg. And then we need to snip ahead from that point. So we're going to cut ahead. Okay, so we've kind of cut ahead. And now we're going to snip ahead. Am I in frame? Okay. Fold over. With my finger. And I'm kind of rolling over with my finger. And then smoothing this out at the same time. Fudging occasionally with how much of the stitching goes underneath. So I'm going to get my trusted paper clip on this spot because I don't want to lose what I've done there. Maybe I paper clipped a little too soon. So on this foot, okay, back up. On this foot, I think it's easiest to do the top one first and then fold over the sides. Okay, so let me do that again. You can't do it often because I'm already losing. Top first, fold over the sides, and if you need to snip some of the sides to accommodate that, you can do that. And then bring it down with where you think it needs to be on your felt. Which I'm having to fudge a little extra on this one to follow that felt. You know, and like even say we had to do that, and lose all of that foot, that's okay. We can make a new foot. Okay, I think we're going to have to do that just because this buckling thing that started here is continuing. So if we don't appease the buckling, we're going to have trouble. And maybe when we get closer to this, we'll be able to kind of fudge it some more. But for now, we're going to fudge it that much. And like I've been saying this whole time, I get that there are people who will look at this and say, I am not going to do that. And you don't have to. I'm just putting this out because I assume there's some people who would want to do this. And also, it's totally okay if you don't want to do it. I make originals of these. So, you know, buy my originals and then you can buy one, have one, and you don't have to make them. I don't cross stitch. I should say I won't cross stitch originals. I do. I'm hoping to pretty soon here go back to making more of my fabric collage, and I won't sell. Well, on occasion, I'm not going to say I won't ever sell. Right now, I'm more leaning towards new patterns of 100-year-old tin cookie cutter patterns that are one of a kind. Like you can't go find that same cookie cutter. You know, it's like, oh, it's not a one-off, but they're rarer to find. So I'm not going to make a pattern of them, but I have several that I want to start selling at art fairs again and farmers markets and hopefully my Etsy store too. So yeah, when and I don't know how far ahead in the patterns I'm going to get, the cross stitch patterns, and then periodically take breaks and then just make my own work. I have totally messed up this thread. What did I do? So on that note, I am going to now stitch the green to here and then literally have 1 or 2 stitches of the brown, and then I'll probably come back and do some fudging there. So I will be back.